This is your life. Do you want to be stuck with someone?
She's a free woman. That's how we speak now, right? You say it, I'm just a woman and I don't understand it.
Yeah. How could you look at Mia Khalifa as a bad person for doing, but not Andrew Tate for facilitating it?
My MO was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me.
Those old clips, my webcam company, things that happened 10 years ago have absolutely nothing to do with the court case. Absolutely zero. Anything you see from before 20...
It's literally all in the court case. Oh, you're telling men they can be men. It's anti-woke, and it's just so much so that you will support somebody who's like a horrible human being.
And so the question that I will ask is how many people are going to allege from Steven Crowder before we listen?
I'm fucking all these 16-year-old women or 18-year-old women.
We're gonna watch this video. Somebody recommended it to me. It's very short. It looks like the idea, and we'll look into it as we watch it, is to expose the hypocrisy of Candace Owens in the relationship to her video about Mia Khalifa versus Andrew Tate. And that's what it's called, Mia Khalifa versus Andrew Tate, the hypocrisy of Candace Owens. Mia Khalifa's been going around for a while because she gave a pretty spicy divorce take, which wasn't really that bad. You know, it's like a little weird coming from someone like her. And she does speak about marriage in like a very loose way where it doesn't necessarily respect what marriage should be, which is you're not really, you know, that's how it comes off. But overall, her point was like, hey, don't stay in a miserable marriage, and I agree with that. You know, I think that the messenger could have been better, but the message was fine. Anyway, then my understanding is when Candace Owens talked to Andrew Tate, it was a complete defense run. So let's see what we got.
Candace Owens is one of those people who have recently jumped to
those people. Oh, Jesus.
The defense of Andrew Tate.
Nice.
Who is charged with human trafficking, rape, and organized crime. Jesus. Although so many people on the right, among conservatives, woke up and saw that Andrew Tate is not the good guy, Candace Owens is still very supportive of him. And
I'm not surprised. I mean, so is Tucker Carlson. Tucker allowed him to completely lie. Oh, they're getting me because I made girls do TikTok. Like, that was one very small facet of it. He would have girls do TikTok lives to signal boost their, like, OnlyFans that he had control of, and then we all know the rest. I mean, we're at a point now is if you don't understand the story of Andrew Tate and how he is you just listen to the words he says. I mean, I don't know what else to say. You're just living in ignorance at this point. But the charges are very serious. Tate is effectively, a lot of the evidence is just coming from Andrew Tate's mouth when it comes to it, and so like it is what it is. But you know, I guess you know, this is one of those things. I guess conservatives are feeling so isolated that they will now defend a sex trafficker because they need support. I guess some conservatives, of course, like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens,
and defends him and thinks he's an inspiration for young men.
Wow. You're speaking to young men about why it is okay to be a man, giving them permission to be a man in a capacity that I can't give them that permission.
I used sex as a tool to make women love me so they'd obey me and live in my house and make me money.
Part of me when they were regurgitating the scripts, I was like, this is so unfair.
So isn't it so weird how like it's so anti-trans that it's pro-rape? Because that's what it is. Oh, you're telling men they can be men. It's anti-feminism, it's anti-trans, it's anti like woke. It's just so much so that you will support somebody who's like a horrible human being.
It's so unfair.
And me and my brother, and eventually some staff I trained, would do all the talking. The girls were just famoosers, just laughing and doing this, their titties out, and they were talking to fucking ice cold hustlers. We were taking their money, all of it.
By and large, the stuff that you're saying to young men, even if there are certain things I don't agree with.
Are you banging the chicks too, or was it just
all of it? So
I think you're right. Now that
he has to. That's what he said.
You say it. I'm just a woman, and I don't understand it.
Yeah. Women are only loyal to one thing, and that's the dick they're sucking.
But I will not apologize for trying to do the best I could at the time in the scenario I was in.
Growing up,
did you feel bad or no? Fuck no. To give a solitary fuck.
I'm just not so quick to judge people.
I think one of the
not so quick to judge people. I don't think that's true.
Best jobs a woman can have is be a cam girl. I have 19-year-old girls. They're sitting there with their tits out on a computer.
You've capped.
And I groomed them with a girl that I started sleeping with at 15. I used her to be the bottom bitch to sell, this. Incredible.
Activated young men, and that is a very important demographic.
If you were to start lying and saying, I'm fucking all these 16-year-old women or
Wow, look at that. Right on cue.
18-year-old women, whatever.
The problem is that
Right on cue. Right on cue, guys. Guys.
That is a very
right on
important
cue.
demographic.
Right
if
on
you were
cue.
to start lying and saying, I'm fucking all these 16-year-old women or 18-year-old women, whatever.
Beautiful stuff. You know, I wouldn't doubt, though, that, like, Candace Owens is for, like, 35-year-old men sleeping with 13, 14, 15-year-old girls, as long as it was a legal religious marriage, of course. Because, you know, we're complaining about trans and feminism is so bad. But, like, it's still legal to get to child marry. I feel like that's probably more important to deal with.
Problem is that Candace Owens
child marriage is legal in most of the United States. I feel like that's a bigger issue in general, you know. 2 states have a minimum age of 15. 5 states don't have a minimum age at all. Wow, that's fucking wild. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking some of them do a really good. I mean, okay. Oh, incredible stuff. That's wild. Okay. No age floor. Washington, California has no age floor. Mississippi, Oklahoma, New Mexico. This is actually wild. Okay. Well, let's continue.
Recently released a video about former porn star Mia Khalifa, in which she says the following
hit or miss
words.
This is your life. Do you want to be stuck with someone?
She's a free woman. That's how we speak now, right? Mia Khalifa may not be doing hardcore pornography anymore, but she is certainly doing pornography. It's just soft.
I mean, Andrew Tate still owns like webcam business. He has his brother running it. I don't know why. Like how. I don't understand. Like, how could you look? Like, I don't get it. How could you look at Mia Khalifa as a bad person for doing porn, but not Andrew Tate for facilitating it? Like, at the very least, you treat them equally. Even if you don't believe the allegations that come from his mouth, of course. So.
Softcore. Under boob, she's half naked in all the photos. She's got emojis covering her nipples. She's also encouraging people to follow her on OnlyFans if they want to see even naughtier pictures. You can subscribe to Mia Khalifa. Why does she think that women
I'd rather subscribe to Mia Khalifa than fucking Daily Wire. So
want to hear her advice? Who does she think she is? I'm just not so quick to judge people. The girl I looked like is talking like, well, a porn star. I'm just not so quick to judge people. No woman anywhere who aspires to happiness should listen to Mia Khalifa.
Some of her advice wasn't bad. Like, fundamentally, you should not stay in a miserable marriage. Like, you know, you should work. And she actually touched on a point. It's just I wish she would have expanded more, where she had mentioned, like, oh, you shouldn't stay with your partner just for the kids, because that might not be good for them, right? We always talk about how it's good you should stay with your spouse for the kids, even if you're miserable. I don't necessarily agree. I think ideally, and of course maybe this isn't practical, you would engage in a world where you're like, we don't love each other anymore. Let's split amicably, maybe even live together. I don't know. And because if you're in a miserable marriage, you're just teaching your kids how to exist in their relationship, right? Monkey see, monkey do. So, you know, if you're miserable and your kids picking up on that, they're going to think that being miserable is what you're supposed to be in a marriage. That's why we get a bunch of memes about how much men hate their wives. And it's like, that's not a flex. That's just sad for you, right? You know, it shouldn't be that miserable. And that's what's always portrayed. And so, you know, I would say, like, hey, there's nothing wrong with, you can split up and just say, we fell out of love. And then tell the kid, it's your fault. It's your fault, you know. And that will help the kid grow up happy and healthy. You know, that's the best way to operate, I think.
I'm just not so quick to judge people.
Now, I don't know how to make it more obvious here. I want to preface this by pointing out one thing. In this video, it doesn't matter what I think about Mia Khalifa and her actions. No. It doesn't matter what I think about Andrew Tate.
I don't get it, though. You know, God bless her. She's a nice looking girl, but I don't get it. Like, what's the draw? Like, I mean, she's... Like, what makes people really into that? What makes people really into that? I don't really get it.
Tate and his actions. It also doesn't matter what you think about these things. What matters here is what Candace Owens thinks and how she judges. Because
She's got big boobs, but outside of that, like, I feel like, it's just not my taste, I guess.
this is about the hypocrisy, the double standards that Candace Owens applies. Very blatantly. What did Andrew Tate do? What do we know about him? Andrew Tate acted in porn videos in
Uh-oh,
the past.
bad guy.
Yes, he did. He did some form of online modeling. There are pictures of him where he's naked. But what's even worse is that Andrew
I don't need to see that.
Tate became rich and relevant with an online webcam business where he turned his girlfriends into online webcam girls.
So yeah, on CobraTape.com I have my PhD program, and that is PhD is a pimp and hose degree.
He got it. So funny, baby.
Clever.
Clever.
And that teaches basically how I got
He was really proud of that. What an inspiring moment. Or inspiring.
girls, how I met girls, how I got girls to like me, how I got
She fulfilled an Arabic void in the adult films. Is that real? Okay, maybe that's what it is.
girls to fall in love with me to work on webcam for me. Because that's what I did. That was my MO, was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me. And that's how I got rich. So that teaches everything I know from start to finish about not only getting girls, not only obtaining them, but
Guys, I think H3 finally got Hassan to admit that reacting harder is a valid criticism. And that Hassan uses it as a meme. Okay, somebody told me that 3 times in the chat. So I'll take a look after the segment, okay? All right, relax. It's okay. We're going to survive. I appreciate you filling me in, though. Is there a moment you want me to look at in the stream?
I will say, seeing my parents stay together because of me and them being miserable definitely made me think that relationships were supposed to be.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can kind of just learn wrong, you know? I don't think the goal should be to get divorced. But I think that we shouldn't teach bad marriages. You know, we wouldn't need to make divorce illegal if people were just happier in their marriages. And you do that through, obviously, teaching people to love better, but then also providing other, like, supports, like, you know, empowering the middle class helps, too. Because less money is less happiness and more stress. Excuse me.
retaining them.
A business which still continued until very recent
I love you, Warren.
years.
I'm going to keep like 5 or 6 of my main girls because they really know what to do. They don't really hassle me and it's nice and easy. So
A business for which he is currently under investigation and for which charges have been pressed.
Those old clips, my webcam company, things that happened 10 years ago have absolutely nothing to do with the court case. Absolutely zero. Anything you see from before 2021
It's literally all in the court case.
has nothing to do with the case.
It's in the case.
After the webcam business, Andrew Tate became an OnlyFans business owner.
She's also encouraging people to follow her
And then when he gave up, he just gave it to his brother to run for him. So
on OnlyFans if they want to see even naughtier pictures. You can subscribe to Mia Khalifa.
He turned many women under deceptive methods into sex workers and had sex with them and established love relationships with them for the sole purpose of turning them into employees, while making them believe that there is something special between them, because that's how they would obey him and make him money. He even said in the past, at least about his webcam business, that most of his webcam girls did not do any sex work in the past.
yeah, which is bizarre to me that somebody who wasn't in webcam work would do that. It's crazy because he really has admitted it so many different times in so many different ways, and we're just not there yet. I guess for believing it. You know? It's just crazy. I wonder if this is the video I'm looking for.
He introduced them to that. And he also doesn't have any regrets.
To give a solitary fuck.
Andrew Tate is not married. He has multiple girlfriends who all live with him in his home and who work for him. And he has sex with them while they show their bodies on the internet.
Here we go. I like this that he deleted from his original website. My job was to get women to fall in love with me. Literally, that was my job. My job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, test if she's quality, get her to fall in love with me to where she'd do anything I say, and then get her on webcam so we could become richer together. Whether you agree or disagree with what I did, with their loyalty, submission, and love, doesn't matter. You cannot reject the results, and the results are simple. My girlfriends would do more for me than 99% of men's wives. Right, and then add the fact that he had a bottom bitch that would help them. Add the fact that, like, we've seen messages of him like lying to a woman, like getting her to come from another country, cutting her off from her friends and family by making it seem like they all lied about her only gave her enough money for food, and then kept saying, please work with me, and wore her down until she finally decided to start doing webcam work, and making sure that he used a proxy girl so that if she got angry, it wouldn't be at him, it would be at her. Like, these are all the things that he said. It's insane. So...
In addition to all of this, Andrew Tate has been running a business where he teaches others how to do these things, how to lure women, how to find vulnerable, suitable women, and how to turn them into online sex workers, even if they don't want to.
You cannot get a girl to work for you having fucked. You message them on Instagram. I don't mention webcam until after I've had sex with the girl. If you're on dates and you're trying to mention it and shit, it just doesn't work. It puts them off. I'd never do that. That's disgusting. I'm not a whore. It's just not gonna work. You continue as normal, no mention of webcam. You fuck the girl. After you fuck the girl, you do the PhD test. Then you start mentioning things like, yeah, but you know, you're always busy. You're always at work. You can come work for me. Hi, do you want to do webcam? It's bullshit. It doesn't work. No one's gonna say yes. You want a girl who's in it to be with you. You, your bottom bitch, the new girl, you go out for a nice dinner. Your bottom bitch is the one who does the selling. The girl has to hear
Jonathan Ramsey super chatted $5. Off topic. Why do we as a society like to virgin shame people for not being in a relationship if they're just living a happy life with no partner?
Because that's a cope, bro. That's a goddamn cope. I don't know, bro. I think that most people who are like virgins and don't have a partner and are saying that they have a happy life without one probably is a little bit of a cope, you know. But it's nothing wrong with not having a partner. My mom hasn't been with a partner for 33 years since I was born, and she's happy. It's weird that she's happy. It's actually bizarre. Like, my mother is very content with herself. It's really weird. I don't even get it personally. I can do that, but
a girl. And this is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl. My first girl was so good, it was easy. My girl would sit there and go, oh my God, before this I was a waitress and it was shit, and now I do this, I make so much money. Martinis, 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 bang, threesome. Slam them both.
Damn,
bottom bitch knows.
Slam
this
them
girl's
both,
like, okay,
baby.
well, I'll try it. Put both girls on camera together the first day, so the new girl can sit there and just sit with the other girl and get drunk. Give them a bottle of vodka, put on the fucking chatterbait, 100 tokens per shot.
Who's the more attractive bald guy at this point? Who's the more attractive bald guy now, baby? Who's the top G now? Huh? What about that? Who's the top G now, baby? Oh. It's me. It's Thurston. It's thirsty, baby. How you like that? How you like that, guys?
Girls will sit there, get drunk, have a great time. You say it's your new job now. You haven't go to work ever again. That's how you recruit girls.
You've captivated young men, and that is a very important demographic.
You've captivated young men and captured young women.
What great influence by Candace Owens standards, right?
And so the question that I will ask is how many people are going to allege abuse from Steven Crowder before we listen? Before we stop saying he's one of us because he says things that he agrees with.
Oh, we added the Crowder in there. This is the execution sentence.
That we are the party of family values. How can you look at that video and defend him in any way? How can you look at that video and not roundly condemn this and say this is not something that actually represents the things that we believe?
And also, guess what? Andrew Tate thinks and still says today that the average man should go out and have sex with as many women as possible because that's what makes them powerful.
You just gotta do you, baby.
Speaking strictly in terms of morality, by the standards that Candace Owens gave us, it is very obvious that Mia Khalifa's actions, whether you agree with them or not...
I mean, I feel like Crowder is a better focal point, no?
whether I agree with them or not, are significantly less severe than Andrew Tate's actions.
Oh,
but
true.
Candace
I like this one pretends to be a Muslim. I'm bound to both of them.
Owens strictly condemns and rejects Mia Khalifa, but promotes and supports Andrew Tate. Can this be made more obvious than it already is? That there is some huge hypocrisy here.
True. This is a very big this is a very tame representation of the situation too, like of what Andrew Tate did wrong.
Complete lack of proper standards. Am I the only one who is calling this out? Am I the only one who's seeing the very clear, despicable hypocrisy here?
I actually saw it too. I saw Despicable Me in movies in theaters the other day.
Of course, Candace Owens is friends with Andrew Tate, whereas Mia Khalifa is a feminist woman who doesn't agree with her values, which is why it's very easy for her to condemn Mia Khalifa and to defend Andrew Tate, no matter what these people actually do. I would like to leave it to you to tell me what exactly the reason for this giant hypocrisy here is. Then again, I don't know what I'm expecting, since Candace Owens blocked me on Twitter, despite the fact that she described other women who blocked her.
Safe to say that if you're an emotionally unstable woman who functions below the IQ of 60, I won't be your cup of tea. Oh, 60 is pretty low. I don't think you'd really have a Twitter at that point. It's very low.
As emotionally unstable women who function below the IQ of 60. I'm not saying anything. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
That was funny, the end there. It said, I'm
not saying anything.
I can't read this because she blocked me. Most people that lie for a living block people that expose them. Wow. All right, that's an interesting video. Something to watch.